every man's life, when he is presented with two doors, one leads to mediocrity and slow decay, the other to greatness and divine fulfillment. Most turn away from the second door, not because they lack the desire, but because they lack the courage to confront the price. The price is discipline, the price is belief, the price is patience in the dark before the light shows itself. Now listen to me, for I will not waste a single breath on useless chatter. The truth is not polite, but it is liberating. You are not born for defeat. You are not created for mere survival. You are here right now because something beyond your comprehension still believes in you. That alone should shake you awake from the slumber of excuses. You have been conditioned to believe that your past defines you, that if you failed once or 10 times or 100 times, you are somehow broken beyond repair. But I say this to you with the certainty of universal law. There is nothing you have done that cannot be redeemed by what you choose to do next. The mind is the battlefield. Not your circumstances, not your background, not your education, but your mind. The quality of your thinking determines the altitude of your life. If you feed it fear, you will live in fear. If you feed it doubt, you will drown in uncertainty. But if you feed it faith, genuine, unshakable mountain, moving faith, you will rise like a phoenix from every failure. The people you admire, the legends of history, the ones whose names are etched into eternity, they were not chosen by fate. They chose their fate. They did not walk around waiting for permission to be great. They decided to be great, whether the world approved or not. That decision, the decision to live deliberately, is what separates legends from the forgotten. And what about you? How long will you wait for the perfect moment? The right opportunity, the right connections, the right mood, that kind of thinking is a disease that will bury your potential before it ever sees the light of day. Let me tell you something, there is no perfect time. The time is always now, it is now or never, it always has been. I don't care how small your beginnings are. I don't care if you have been rejected, laughed at, abandoned, misunderstood. You can still become something extraordinary. In fact, those very experiences are your greatest qualifications. The world doesn't need more people pretending to be perfect. It needs people who have been to hell and came back with fire in their eyes. You want to change your life, then change your standards. Stop negotiating with your lower self. You know the one, the voice that whispers, just skip it today. You can try again tomorrow. That voice is a thief. It robs you of your destiny one lazy choice at a time. Silence it, replace it with a louder voice, one that declares, I was born for more. I refuse to die with my potential still inside me. Do you know how many people take their greatness to the grave? Do you know how many dreams are buried beneath tombstones? Don't let that be your legacy. You were not given this life just to pay bills and die. You were created to make impact, to become light in a world drowning in shadows. But it won't be easy, nothing worth having ever is. You will be tested, you will be doubted, you will be mocked, but those are signs you're on the right path. If the journey were simple, everyone would take it. And if everyone took it, there would be nothing special about it. Embrace the struggle. The resistance you feel is not there to stop you. It's there to reveal who you really are. The moment you commit, the universe responds. Opportunities begin to show up. The right people begin to notice. Doors that were once closed begin to creak open. But make no mistake, commitment is more than a feeling. It is action repeated daily, even when motivation disappears. Especially when motivation disappears, there is a divine law that says, as you sow, so shall you reap, and it is impossible to consistently plant seeds of discipline, of service, of faith, and not harvest a life of meaning, abundance, and fulfillment. The problem is, most people dig up the seed too soon. They look for quick results. They get discouraged when nothing blooms in a week. But greatness doesn't bloom in days. It blooms in seasons. You want to see miracles. Then show up when no one's watching. Put in the work when no one's clapping. Stay faithful when everyone else gives up. That is where the transformation happens. in the invisible, behind closed doors. When it's just you, your thoughts, and your God, you are being watched, not just by others, but by life itself. Life is always asking, "Can I trust you with more?" And if you can't be trusted with little, you will never be entrusted with much. You want more, then earn it, not with noise, not with flashy ambition, but with quiet consistency. That's how empires are built, that's how legacies are forged. Some of you are praying for a breakthrough, but you haven't even mastered your morning. You're asking for a blessing, but your habits are repelling it. Let me be blunt. God doesn't reward wishers. He rewards workers. He rewards those who dare to believe when there's no evidence, those who speak victory when the world screams defeat. Every great achievement began with one person who refused to quit, not because they had all the answers, but because they had a reason that was bigger than their excuses. What's your reason? What's the fire that will keep you moving when motivation fades? If you don't know, find it, and if you already know, protect it with everything you have. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need you to believe, and if you truly believe, the world will bend to that belief in time. But first, you must stop betraying yourself. Stop lying to yourself. Stop settling for less. The moment you say, "Enough is enough," is the moment everything begins to change. This is your reminder that you are more powerful than you have been told, that the same energy that created galaxies flows through your veins, that your mind, if directed, can produce miracles, but you must direct it. You must discipline it like a warrior trains for war. There is no limit to what a committed soul can accomplish. But commitment is rare. That's why excellence is rare, not because it's impossible, but because it's uncomfortable. But those who dare to get uncomfortable, those who dare to be consistent when it's hard, become unstoppable. And if you're hearing this, then know this. Something inside you has already decided it is time to rise, time to become, time to fulfill what was placed in you before you ever took your first breath. Time to walk, not by sight, but by vision. Don't waste this life. Don't play small to make others comfortable. Don't trade your destiny for distractions. Time is passing whether you act or not. Use it. Invest it, multiply it, become the person you were sent here to be, and when it's all said and done, let your life be your loudest speech. Let your existence echo through time as proof that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when they decide to. You must understand this truth. Your future is not written in stone. It is written in actions. And actions are born of thoughts, and thoughts are born of belief. If you change what you believe about yourself, everything else begins to shift. The chains fall, the fog clears, the impossible begins to take shape. Every day you wake up, you're casting a vote for the kind of person you are becoming, and no, it doesn't happen overnight. You may not notice the difference in a day or a week, but keep casting those votes, and a new identity emerges. You're not just building habits, you're building you, the real you, the one who was buried under opinions, failure, fear, and rejection. That version of you is still alive. It's waiting to be resurrected by consistent action. And make no mistake, this life is spiritual before it is physical. Everything begins in the unseen. What you feed your soul matters. What you entertain in your quiet moments matters. What you repeat to yourself when no one is listening matters. Because the words you speak in silence become the world you walk through tomorrow. Most people are stuck because they keep reacting instead of creating. They live life by accident, not by intention. They let the world tell them who they are instead of deciding for themselves. But you are not most people. If you were, you wouldn't still be listening to this. Something in you knows you were made to create, to lead, to shape your life from the inside out, and to do that, you must reclaim your mind. You must think thoughts that align with your vision, not your environment. When the pressure comes, and it will come, you don't shrink, you rise, you don't panic, you pivot. The pressure is not your enemy. It is the catalyst that reveals who you are under the surface. Diamonds are made in pressure, so are legends, so are you. There is power in persistence, power in showing up when it doesn't make sense, power in believing when there's no applause, power in doing the right thing when no one is watching. That's when destiny starts to move. That's when unseen forces begin to gather around your cause. But don't mistake movement for progress. You can be busy and still going nowhere. What matters is direction, intentional movement, laser focus, purposeful steps. Don't waste your energy chasing everything. Concentrate it on what matters most. Success doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing what matters with more intensity and consistency than anyone else is willing to do. And while others complain, you train. While they doubt, you prepare. While they seek comfort, you embrace the challenge. That is how the tide turns. That is how giants are made. You don't owe anyone an explanation for wanting to be better, for wanting to rise, for wanting more out of life than mere survival. You're not arrogant for desiring greatness. You're responsible for it, because when you live to your potential, you give others permission to do the same. You show them what's possible, and don't be surprised when people start falling away. Growth exposes the weak spots in your environment. Not everyone can go where you're going. Not everyone has the endurance to walk that path. Let them go. Bless them, release them, and keep moving forward. You are not here to convince anyone of your value. You are here to demonstrate it. Every day, quietly, relentlessly, with your work, with your results, with your energy. Your presence should speak so loudly that words become unnecessary. The future belongs to those who are willing to delay gratification, who are willing to be laughed at now so they can be celebrated later, who are willing to look foolish in pursuit of something no one else can see but them. You must protect your vision, even from the ones closest to you, because they won't understand until it happens, and even then many still won't. But that's not your concern. Your concern is obedience to the call that lives in your spirit. That whisper that won't let you sleep, that feeling that you were made for something more, that is the divine compass trying to guide you back home to your purpose. Listen to it, follow it, trust it, even when the path looks like nothing but shadows and silence. This journey is spiritual warfare. It's not just about money or fame or success. It's about reclaiming your soul from a world that wants you numb, distracted, and defeated. It's about standing up in a culture that tells you to sit down, about building when others are tearing down, about choosing faith when fear is easier. And let me tell you, the greatest battles are not external, they are internal. The war is between the version of you who wants comfort and the version who craves calling, between the voice of doubt and the voice of destiny, between what is easy and what is eternal. Do not underestimate the small things. One disciplined morning, one clean decision, one word of gratitude, one honest conversation. These things stack, they compound, they echo, and they will, in time, alter the course of your entire existence. Your past is not your prison, it is your preparation. Everything you went through was not punishment, it was training. You didn't go through all that pain just to end up average. It shaped you, it refined you, it awakened something in you that cannot be taught, only earned, and that's what separates those who talk from those who walk. Pain either breaks you or builds you, and the outcome is entirely up to you. Use it. Use every heartbreak, every betrayal, every closed door. Turn it all into fuel. When people say you've changed, take it as a compliment. You're supposed to change, you're supposed to grow, you're supposed to become unrecognizable to the version of you that once settled for less. If they don't recognize you anymore, that's fine. What matters is that you recognize yourself when you look in the mirror, that you're proud of the person you're becoming, and don't forget, gratitude is power. The person who can be grateful in the midst of the storm holds the keys to the kingdom. Gratitude turns suffering into strength. Gratitude keeps you grounded in chaos. Gratitude is how you tell life, I'm ready for more. So train your mind daily, guard your words, sharpen your routines, focus your vision, surround yourself with truth, and live like you're on assignment, because you are. You are on assignment from something greater than you can fully comprehend. Every breath you take is permission from the divine to keep building, to keep growing, to keep pushing forward. You are not here by mistake. The odds of your existence defy reason, yet here you are. That alone should ignite a fire in your soul so powerful it burns away every excuse you've ever clung to. But if you are to fulfill this assignment, you must stop flirting with your potential and commit to it fully. No more half efforts, no more waiting for ideal conditions, no more letting fear disguise itself as practicality. Fear loves to wear masks. It calls itself logic, it calls itself timing, it even calls itself humility, but it's fear nonetheless, and fear is a liar. You don't need to see the whole path. You only need to take the next step, the next hard step, and then the next, and if you do that enough times, the path will begin to reveal itself. Clarity doesn't come before action, it comes through action. Progress sharpens perception. The more you move, the more you see, and you must become ruthless with distractions. The enemy of your future isn't failure, it's distraction. The wasted hours, the cheap dopamine, the empty conversations, the endless scrolling. These are not small things. They are the termites of your destiny, silently devouring your future while you're too entertained to notice. Wake up. Pay attention. Your time is too precious to squander on things that don't move you forward. You are either being pulled by vision or pushed around by pressure. If you don't choose the first, the second will own you. Vision is not some luxury. It's a necessity. It is the compass that keeps you steady in the chaos. Without it, you'll chase every shiny object, compare yourself to everyone else, and slowly lose touch with the deeper reason you started this journey. And let me remind you, purpose is not found in some faraway place. It's found in commitment. It's not about discovering who you are. It's about deciding who you must become and then aligning every part of your life to that decision. That's the secret most people never figure out. They wait for clarity when clarity is earned by movement. There will be days when it feels like nothing is working, when your effort goes unnoticed, when you feel foolish for believing so deeply in something no one else seems to see. But those are the defining days, not the days when everything clicks, but the days when it doesn't, and you show up anyway. That's what builds unshakable confidence. That's what separates the remembered from the forgotten. The world doesn't need more noise, it needs more substance, more people who do what they say they will do, more people who refuse to break when pressure mounts, more people who walk with integrity when no one's watching. You be that person, you lead by example, you live with such consistency that your life becomes its own kind of sermon, one that doesn't need a microphone, and understand this, what you tolerate, you invite. Every time you compromise on your values, you are rewriting the contract of your destiny. Every time you settle, you teach the world how to treat you, demand more, not from others, but from yourself, raise the bar. Set the standard, become so consistent, so excellent, so faithful, that mediocrity becomes impossible. People will ask how you did it. They'll look for hacks, shortcuts, secrets, but you'll know it wasn't any one thing. It was the daily choice to keep becoming, to keep showing up, to keep sharpening your vision when life tried to blur it. It was 1,000 invisible victories that the world will never see, but heaven recorded in full. You're not chasing goals. You're building identity. That's why the work must continue even when the finish line disappears. The goal isn't to arrive. The goal is to evolve, to transcend every previous version of yourself, to become so aligned with purpose that even setbacks serve as sacred teachers. And if you ever forget who you are, look at what you've already overcome. Look at the storms you've endured. Look at the nights you didn't quit. Look at the strength you didn't know you had until life demanded it. That was never weakness. That was refinement. You weren't breaking. You were being built. Never underestimate the power of a decision. Your whole life can pivot on one choice to rise, one choice to let go, one choice to believe again. Every great transformation starts with a moment of brutal honesty. When you look yourself in the mirror and say, "I'm done living beneath my calling," that's when everything shifts. That's when power enters the room, and I need you to understand. This world does not reward need. It rewards boldness. It rewards initiative. It rewards the individual who takes personal responsibility for their outcomes. You must stop hoping that someone is coming to save you. You are not waiting on a sign. You are the sign. So stop asking for permission. Stop waiting for approval. Stop giving your power away. You have something inside of you that is greater than every obstacle. Every delay, every betrayal, you were not made to fit in. You were made to stand out, and you cannot do that by being lukewarm. There is a fire inside you, and you must stoke it every single day. Feed it with truth. Feed it with vision, feed it with action. Let it burn away your excuses. Let it illuminate your path. Let it become a signal to the world that you will not die with your greatness still inside you. Let me know when to continue. So now, stand up, not just physically, but in spirit. Stand up and take your place among the few who dare to live with purpose, among the few who don't just wish for change, but become the change, among the few who don't wait to be chosen, because they already chose themselves. Understand this: you were not born to blend in. You were born to build, to lead, to transform, but the clock is ticking. Your life is not a rehearsal. Every moment you hesitate is a moment of your destiny left unclaimed. So draw a line in the sand right now. Make the decision that you will no longer tolerate anything less than the fullness of who you are. No more waiting, no more shrinking, no more playing small to make others comfortable. You don't need more time, you need more intensity, you need more conviction. You need to wake up every day with the fire of someone who knows that they've been called, and that answering that call is not optional. Because in the end, you either live life by design or die by default. And the only question that matters now is this: what legacy will you leave because you finally decided to live fully, fearlessly, and faithfully? Go and become everything you were born to be.